All right, so today I got given a Big Chief electric smokehouse, and these are great if you want to cook fish. I don't like fish, so I got this for free. So I figured I want a nice smoker, so why don't I upgrade this one to be what I want for a fraction of the cost. So I cleaned it up a little bit. It's not great, but it doesn't really have to be. But it's a front loader, which is nice because my last one was a top loader, and getting pork shoulders and things out of that was a pain in the butt. So this one has 2 wire shelves. It's got a little heating element. It advertises that it can only go to 165, but it'll cook anything at 165 degrees. If I want to smoke a pork shoulder, that's too little. And when I want to smoke some cheese, that's too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade the heating element so I can get more temperature out of it. And then I'm going to put a temperature regulator in there so I can control the temperature and maintain it without having to keep an eye on it all the time. So my supplies, I got Simple Green to clean it. I got paper towels. I have this tape because I'm going to put some insulation made out of cardboard. I got a temperature digital smart controller so I can control the temperatures. I got thermal wire covers so I can cover the wires and they won't cook. I got a simple temperature gauge that I'm going to screw into the top of the thing so I know if this thing is accurate or not. And then I got the cheapest burner that I could get on Amazon. So I think all combined, these are around $100 for maybe 125 for all of this stuff. I'm not sponsored by anything, so get whatever you want, but this is what I got for me. And then the cardboard that I'm going to be using, I got this table saw just recently, so I'm going to use some of the cardboard because it's super thick and really good quality. So and I'll use the tape to tape it to the box. Okay, as you can see, there's a platform for the coil, which is super nice. And it looks like there's a screw here, and it goes through to this nut on the bottom. So I'm going to take that apart, and then this will all start coming apart. I'm going to have to pull this knob off. It's usually just a compression fit. And then, as you can see over here, so I'm going to have to drill these spot welds out. And then this, well, then also you can see the heat has come through here, which is why I got that thermal wire cover so I don't have to worry about the wires melting. And if you look in here, you can see that these things are just rusted to pieces. So I'm not going to worry about having to reuse these. I'm just going to use what came with the new heating element.
Just come right out.
So it just came out as one unit. And also the nice thing is, if for some reason the smart controller doesn't work, I still have access to this. And I liked using the light before because when you plugged it in, the light turned on. And so you always know if it's actually working or not, if it's tripped a breaker. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this apart, all these wires out, and then I'll get back to you when this is done. All right, so I got the heating element all taken apart. Here's the back plate, the knob, these screws go together into the front of this. This is the knob. This is the light that I'll have in there. Here's the wiring. This is the light that cover goes on. This is to the temperature plug. There's wiring going out. These are soldered on, so I'm going to leave those together if I can. I'll have to drill holes in the bottom of the thing, and then this will set into the bottom of the thing, which provides kind of a drip tray, and it gives me a way to connect it using that. So what I'm going to do now is, I don't really want to mess with the wiring too much. These are the hole sizes for the knob and the light. So I'm going to take these and I'll drill into the front where the knob and the light are going to go. And then I'll have the wire running out. Instead of running out here, I'll have the wire running out. I'll drill a hole beneath it and then put a gasket in there so it doesn't hurt my wire when I'm running it through, and like abrasion and stuff. Next, I've got to get rid of this heating element and these bracket things because they're going to be in the way now. So I'm going to drill out the spot welds and then take that out. All right, now that I've got all the brackets pulled out, this is just a plug. When it comes out, I could take this out, but there's a bunch of spot welds, and then on the back, it's got this thing, which would end up leaving a giant hole in the back, and it seems like a lot more trouble than it's worth. So I'm just going to leave it because it doesn't seem to make sense to take it out. It's not going to hurt anything for it to stay in there, so that's just where it's going to stay. So one thing I'm going to do that probably not necessary for yours, but I've got a piece of hardy board siding, and I'm going to put it underneath this tray because this is pretty rusted. I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's pretty rusted, and I think it would just give me a little extra peace of mind to have a fireproof barrier underneath that will give it some structural support as well as extra shielding for the wiring, so I don't have to worry about it melting underneath there. So something you can do. It's what I'm going to do, but I don't think it's really necessary. All right, to figure out where the center line for my new heating element will be, I just did these a square on the things, traced it with my screwdriver. So I have it right there. And then going across this way, I don't know if you can see it, but the center is right there in between those. So that's where I'm going to drill my hole for the new heating element. So now that I've got center line punched, so you can see, I can put this on the hole, but these are going to be hanging out. So I need to make a slot that this stuff can go through and make it out to the underneath, and also make a slot for that. And then the wires can be underneath and safe. Alright, so now I got my wires through. I've got my heat shield in there. This needs to be tightened up a little bit. I'm going to need to fasten this on better. And now I need to put my lights and dial in the front. And yeah, I'm getting close. I gotta put my heat shield on too. Alright, now we've got the holes all drilled. So this can go in here. Well, I guess it's gonna sit back. And then the light can go here. Oh, looks like I need to drill this out just a little bit more. Nope. Hey, there we go. The light is in. I just gotta do this one. I'll do that off camera because I don't know how to hold it and do that. Okay, we're nearing the finish line. I've got the light wired in. I've got this plugged in. I just took, when I put the shielding on the wires, I took a picture earlier to know how this plugs in, plug that in. And the wire is ready to go. So now we've got, should be going in, yeah, this way. So I have off, low, medium, high. So I decided to make it easy and just cut a opening and then fold the metal over, and the wire can just go through there. Because there's a little extra venting in here too. And I'm going to put some of that tape just to make it a little bit cleaner, and I won't have to worry about this wire getting cut or nicked or anything. All right, looks like I've got it all done. Got it wrapped in cardboard. I have this up, so I won't, every time I moved it, it kept getting trapped under the box. And so since it's gonna go up here anyway, I lifted up. I left room for the vents to vent the smoke. I got the door, this lifts it, and out. Then you have the inside. Eventually I will either get another one or put a wooden handle on this, but for now it works. There we go. We have a cheap smoker. So I'm gonna put the last couple pieces on and then it's good. All right, so we're giving this a try. So I can turn the power off and then turn it on. See, the light turns on. Set up to high. See how it's starting to smoke? It's getting burning off all that. Stinky. I have my heat gauge here. So I have it set up to smoke cheese. I had to recess this into the cardboard because that was the only way to get the probe in there with the screw. As you can see, the temperature is going up. Then we have the probe for this, goes through the wire, up through the top, and I have it in there. So far, so good. All right, here's the test. Just turned off the heat. And it turned off the light. So that means it does control, but the temperature goes up way past. I'm thinking maybe I'm gonna have to get this thing at temperature and then down to where it has to turn on again before I actually put cheese in here. Yep, 20 degrees beyond. But the heat element is off. But I would still call this overall a win. So, I mean, you could make this out of a box, and if you had wood laying around, but I think for the price, it's a pretty decent smoker. I would have to make something with it. So I just finished smoking my first smoked cheese. It turned out perfect. Cheese you got to smoke on low temperature for a long time. So I had the temperature set at 90 degrees, and yeah, I did that for an hour and a half, and the cheese came out great. So you got to let the cheese sit for a couple days, 2 to 5 days, and then it's mellowed out really well and it tastes great. So right now I've got links and some pork, and here we have some pork chops and some sausages, all been smoked.